Hello people, long time no see, I hear you say. Yes, I've been moving house, so I'm very sorry I've sort of disappeared off the scene for a little while, but we're here now and we're all settled in just about. Got my craft room where I want it to be and where everything needs to be, almost, not quite there. Right, so as I've been moving house, I've not done any crafting for now, what, probably 2 months. So I thought it was time we got started, and Saturday I managed to get 3 cards made. I was online with my friend Laurie in America and managed to make 3 cards, my first 3 cards in the last few months. And then yesterday was Monday. Yesterday I created a new stencil, so today I'm going to play with that. So let's see what we can do. Right, so I'm going to be using my little brushes. I've not seen them for a long time. Cosmic Shimmer inks. I'm not decided which colours yet, so I'm just going to put them up there, ready. And a Versifying Clay for stamping. I've got my bleed proof white, my the Old Faithful, just in case I need to do some highlighting. I think I'm probably going to use some of these purple shades of the Cosmic Shimmer. I'm thinking purples and reds actually. I don't know, let's see. We'll see where we go. Right, so I've got some Inkylicious stamps that I want to use as well. I want to use this lovely saying here: nothing is more peaceful than the whispers of the wind through the trees. And perhaps do a little deer in the background. And the stencil itself, I'll put that on a black background so you can see that, is a tree blowing in the wind. Perhaps that's what we should call it actually, but then again I might get told off for using blowing in the wind, seeing as it's a song, isn't it? So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be playing with today. These are just little extra bits, if you want to add flowers into the leaves, flowers and leaves into the branches, and flowers on the ground, and just bits, you know, so extra added bits for that. So I have my A5 card, which is 15 by 21 centimeters, and a black topper. I think a black edge around this one's going to go well, and my white card for playing on. I've also got here a little moon mask. It's a circle that I cut out the other day, so I thought, well, I may as well use it. I do have moon masks anyway, so I shall use that as well. And let's get cracking. So seems a bit weird on this desk actually, because it's a little bit smaller than my previous desk, but it got broken in the process of moving, unfortunately, so I've had to have a smaller desk. If I can use the top of the previous one and make this one area slightly wider, then I will do that, but at a later date. Right, so first of all then, let's get this stencil on the go. Ooh, I know what I haven't got in place. That is my masking tape. And let me just jump out of the picture for half a minute. Ooh. It. Got my masking tape. I think I know more or less where everything is, where I've put everything, I think. We shall find out when I come to use something and it's not there. I'll be thinking, where did I put that? Because everything's so different to how it was at the flat. So yes, I've moved from my lovely big arched windowed flat to a lovely 3-bedroom house. Got lots and lots of space, so I've now got a room to myself for crafting rather than a corner in the living room. I will miss my fancy big arch window, but seeing as it's all gone damp and mouldy, then you know it was a good thing to get out while we'd got the opportunity. Needs must and all that. So here we are in my new crafting area, my whole craft room, which I've still not quite got fully organised yet, but I'm almost there. So I'm going to tape that down. Right, so that's nice and strong. This should be quite pretty. I think I'm going to mask off some of these as well because I don't really want these in the picture as of yet. So let's just put some tape on to mask these little flowers and leaves. I don't know what made me think about doing a windy tree, to be honest with you. It just popped in my head and I thought, oh, I'll do one of those. Seeing as I live in Britain, living in England, it's quite often the way. It's wind and rain, so that's it. Just mask those off a bit so I don't get running any colour through those. Actually, I should have done my background first. I've just realised I should have done my background first because this is going to be a silhouette. So let me just stick these bits on and I'll start again. Out of practice, you see, out of practice. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Right, so I'll take that off again. all part of the creativity, mistakes included. Right, now I've got to peel this off here. I'll use them again in a bit. And I was thinking I might have got something done last week, but my mother has been over because we had a wedding in the family. So my mother's been over and she brought with her an awful cough and cold, and was feeling quite poorly on Friday with it all. Just about out the other side of it now, I think. I might sound a little bit gruff in the voice, but yeah. So I had to hold back for a little bit longer. Right, so let's get this background done first. Moon mask first. So I'm going to go around that in some of this lighter Cosmic Shimmer Colour Cloud Frosty Heather. Oh, got things popping out my tops now. Right, let's have a look then. Let's have a purple brush. Not a bit too purple. Let's a lighter colour one. No, let's put that one then. Let's go easy with that. I'm going to put the moon about there. I want it, so I want to be able to see it. I want the branches to go over it as well. Let's have a look. You just about see that through the branches, can't you? I'm not going to see much of it. Okay, we'll bring it down over. I've probably got a little bit of colour on this already. You know me. Brushes have already got colour in, I'll use that first. So I hope you guys and gals have all been looking after yourselves. And if you have tuned in today, thank you so much for that. Hopefully now I can get back on track and keep myself going again now. Get myself back to where I was. Right, so I'm just blending that around. It doesn't have to be anything special, just because it's all going to get mixed in with other inks as well. that's as much of that as I want round there. Let me move that out of the way. Now we'll do a little bit lighter. If it's going to let me. Just want to put a little bit of colour in that moon, but my brush doesn't seem to want to play very nicely today. So we've got some marks on the moon there. I could say they're clouds, can't we? Mermaids are clouds going over the moon. Do excuse me. That's what I've been like. Have a swig of me tea. Hopefully that will calm that down a bit. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to make that a cloud going over the moon. And that, as clouds do. Slightly darker patches and nothing uniform. I think my brushes all need washing out. They're all a bit patchy. Okay, let's just leave that there for now. I'm going to go with a bit of red. I want the dark. Pinky one. The dark one. Is that the dark one or is that the dark one? I think that is. Let's put some red in the picture. I mean, not often I use red in my sky, so today I want to have a bit of red in my sky. I don't want it to be too dark. I don't want everything to be too dark. The brushes seem to have gone a bit spiky, perhaps from lack of use. I normally got them out every day, but today they seem to be a little bit rough. As you can see by the way they're painted. So it's just a case of just keep blending till we've got all of our sky. Yeah, brushes definitely seem to be having a bit of a problem, don't they? I'm not happy with them at all. Might have to get the old large brushes out. So. Right, let's have a bit of torn paper anyway. Let's make a few wheels and olives. that. It'll all come together in the end. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. I will go over with some more purple in a bit. I just want to get that reddish tint in there with it. Look a bit more, make it a bit different. Looks like a very bright red in the camera, but it's actually quite a dark one. This one is called Crimson Kiss. It's a very dark shade. It's just, I just don't, you know, tend to use red very often. I just thought it could make a nice change. Right, so we've got some hills and hollies. And a little bit of light underneath because it would be like the moon shining through the clouds. It adds a bit of texture as well, so. Okay, right, let's get this sky all filled in. A bit patchy, isn't it? Right, let's do away with that red for now. Let's have another go with this purple. I'm going to try a different kind of brush. Because this one, it doesn't seem to be working very well. Give me half a second. I'll go with one of the old types. try this. It's doing the same. Nothing seems to be holding the colour very well, does it? I'm not sure really what's going on with my brushes. I think I just better get them all washed or get a new set. Can't seem to get that colour to go up there. It's juicy pad, it's it's really juicy. It's not the ink or anything, I don't think. Got a nice patchy sky anyway. I do like a patchy sky when it's like this anyway. So I need them again now. What was that bit there? I think that was there. I did the opposite. I've thrown the other bit away, haven't I? The opposite bit. Let's have a look. That, I believe, would have been the opposite bit. That bit there, maybe. Don't know now. Let's have a look. So if that went, no wonder I'm getting nowhere here. So if that went there, and that was torn off from there, that would be, nope, I don't know, I've lost the plot. Right, okay, we're just going to have to wing it. So I'm just going to cover that bit. Let's try that one. That'll do. Cover that bit. That would be as near as I can get that to that. Usually the colour clouds blend really well, and I just don't know what's going on. I think it's me. I think my brushes are just add it. Do that bit there. And then that bit. Oh, crikey, this is ridiculous. See, trials and tribulations. Right, so let's try and replicate that hill from there. I can get that bit to there. Maybe like that. And that bit. And that bit. Just so I've got the purple going right down to those hills. That's it. I don't want to go too dark right up to the moon now, because I need it to make it look like it's shining some light, which is where the red comes into it. The further away from the light, the darker it gets, supposedly, she says. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So you can kind of see now where I was heading towards, can't you? Right, that took a lot of doing, didn't it? Note to self, wash brushes. That was not easy. Right then, now we can do the tree. Quite like that's quite a moody looking sky, isn't it? So the tree will go, get that back on there now, where I wanted it to be. I wanted it on that edge there. We can have a slight lean. Do 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 do. Then I'm going to use black. To fill in my tree. I'll just get rid of all that off there so I don't get it on my sleeves. And you know what I've done? I've set my desk up so that it's right in front of the window, thinking, great, get lots of daylight, perfect, but not. So as I've setting myself up today, I opened the blinds and got things on my desk ready. I've got stripes from my blinds. So I thought, that's no good. Can't have stripes going across the project. Stripes of light going across it. So I thought, right, okay, open the blinds completely so they go all, you know, both sides, so the window's, you know, wide open, pure daylight glowing through, lovely. The only thing was then was it's shadowing my camera and my light onto my project. So the blinds are closed. So that seemed like a bit of a waste of time, didn't it? Right, we're going to need a brush for black. Keep them up now, so I weren't as prepared as I thought I was I? Where's my little black brush? There it is. Right. It'll all come together eventually. I'll have everything right where I need it. Right. Black. For my tree. Because I want it to be silhouette. It's very thick, this. These inks are not usually thick, but the black on these Cosmic Shimmer colour clouds is very, very thick ink. Probably just what we need actually for this. Seeing as we're going over other ink anyway. Get a good intense black. So far, stencil is working well. I'm happy to say. It's always trial and error making these stencils because you don't know if you're going to have pieces that jump up and ink going underneath, and it's all about you joining lines. If you don't get them quite right, go to ink over and it moves. Things move. Always try and take that into account. So there's lots of joining lines for strength. And I think with this tree it just works nice. That's it. Circle that. Work that black ink into there. There, right. Let's have a look at what we've got. I'm not going to see much of that moon at all, are we? Never mind. After all that, it is what it is. Let's see what we've got. Oh, yes. Lovely. Look at that. A lovely blowing tree. Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Just take that off there. So that can now go away. Get the lid back on that before I get a mess everywhere. Oops, wrong way. Wrong way, Angie, what are you doing? That's it. Black speckles here and there. So what I'm going to do, I'll clean that off later. I'm going to do, actually, let's use that and just darken these edges because I'm going to have a black border around it anyway. So if I just darken that edge, it brings everything in. Rough this brush. That's it, let's just bring those corners in a bit. All adds to the atmosphere. Okay, that is a rough brush. It's starting to bring my paper up there. Right, there we go. Anyway, got that out of the way. Let's give this another clean down before I get it everywhere. Yeah, that black really is thick. Usually wipe straight off there. That's a good thick ink, that is. Still see it, won't you? That's it. Right, so I think what I'm going to do now is we'll have a look at where can we put a little dish. We have one laying down next to the tree. Where's the edge of the packet? There we go. It's a shame these don't do the same as what Lavinia and Cardio do, and you have the black thing on the top because it gives you an idea of placement and all the rest of it. I don't think we'll be having a baby deer, not in this one. I think I'm going to have that one lying down just there, and this one standing up. But then I've got to think about where I'm going to put my words. So perhaps if we have them, can't have them too far back because it's. I'm going to put him there. Right, let's do this. I'm going to put him there. Never too far from these misses. My original plan was to just have that printed on there, but I think doing this will make it nice. Should we take his feet off and make it look like he's behind the hill? There you go. Let's do that. Make it look like he's just coming from behind that hill. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I'm liking that. I am liking that a lot. And then we'll have his lady friend laying down next to the tree. You can have her there. Or should we put her behind the hill as well? Because she's quite big, isn't she? So she needs to be in front of that tree, I think. Put her there. Lots of lovely juicy ink. Right then, I'm going to have her laying down just in front of the tree, just about here. Let the ink soak in. This cardstock is the Pink Frog cardstock. It's really good. for your watercolouring and stuff like that. It's quite a heavyweight paper, and it's pretty good with the water, as I say. It's a good all around cardstock, that one. Pink Frog. I've always normally used watercolouring paper or card for watercolouring, but I'm finding that stuff's pretty good. So let's put that on there just for now. That's that one done. What do you think? He's just coming up behind the hill. I think I'm just going to use my black pen. I'm just going to bring his legs down to that line. That's it. Let's put a few. Sprigs of grass here and there. Don't want nothing too much. Just so it gives that suggestion that there's some grass there. What do you think so far? It's looking quite nice, I think. So we'll do some white highlights. I'm not even going to bother try doing it with a pen. I'm going to use this. So I need my tiny paintbrush. Got some water up there already. And I'm going to use what's in that lid because it'll water it down. I don't want it to be too stark or white. I'm just going to put a little bit on some of these branches. Just to suggest the light shining on them. That bit would be on top, I think. Brighter as it gets nearer. Neighbours clunking around. Please excuse my sniffling. So it's just a case of follow the lines of the branches. The fine brush. That's about that with a tree. And we'll do some going down there as well, because obviously that's following the line of the tree. We'll put some of the little lines on it as well. There you go. What I'll do as well, let's do the line of the deers first. Little dots on the back. Right, the light's this side of him, so that's it. Should suggest a bit of more shape. There you go. Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of, follow these hill lines as well, just to give that a little bit of depth. There you go. And I think we're about there with that. That's it. Quite pleased with that. Considering I'm completely out of blooming practice. Not been bad with that at all. Quite happy with that. So now then, this saying, do I stamp it directly on? How big is it? I think stamping it directly on is not going to work. Even if I stamp it there, I don't know actually, that might look quite nice stamped in just there. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it and try stamping it there. Right there, like that. And not push down too hard because I don't want the stamp to spread. Just give it time to soak in a little bit. There. It's not too intrusive, is it? I don't think. That looks quite nice, I think. Can you see them words on there? I think that's turned out really nice actually, better than I expected. And using the red as well, which I thought would make a nice change from always using blue or purple. I know I do, I tend to do that. So there you go, that's using my lovely stencil. And obviously if you wanted to do one on the other side, you could do it so that they meet. You could do all kinds with that. And again, like I say, it's got all the little flowers and the leaves and things that you can use as well, which I'm not using on this one, but I suppose the odd leaf blowing away would have been okay, but no, I'm just going to leave it like that, I think. And I won't bore you with the details of gluing, but just to show you, just for effect, that will go onto that. This is another reason why I want to do black around this, because it blends in then with your border. And then that will go onto that. And there is today's card done. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if it took a bit longer than usual, a bit drawn out with my dodgy brushes and all the rest of it, but I do hope you enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. It's good to be back, and I will see you next time. Hopefully it won't be too long. Take care everybody, and thanks for tuning in. See you soon. Bye.